In this video I want to demo a new amplifier that I've just bought that cost £84 and in my opinion is just 80s tone heaven. If you recognise my t-shirt you might know where I'm going with this, but let me play you a couple of riffs and then I'll show you the amplifier. So if you watch YouTube a lot, you might have seen RJ's video where he talked about the Rockman Headphone Guitar Amplifier. And you might think that that's what I've gone and got. Well, since he made that video, those headphone amplifiers have gone up by about 3 times the amount. Some have been $400, $500, $600, but there is basically the same amplifier available that I bought for just £84. And this is the Rockman Guitar Ace. I first came across this amplifier on Dan Hawkins of the Darkness Instagram, where they used it on one of the tracks from Motorheart, and he said it was really kicking ass, so I thought I would look into this. And it is sold out in a lot of places, but for £84 I did find it from one place and I just jumped on it. I wanted to try it out. Now I'm a big fan of big loud plexi amplifiers like my Victory Sheriff 22. However, they are not really suitable for home use at all, so much so when I'm recording electric guitar tutorials I use a Captor X. I use this thing, I don't really use the cabinet at all, it's just head into this virtual cabinet into my computer to record basically. So a headphone amplifier actually really appeals to me because I basically just film all these videos at home. The other thing that really appeals to me is tones like this. Now, I don't just want to remake the same video that RJ made. Check it out if you haven't already. But this is basically a stripped down version with... It looks the same. I think the main tone sounds the same, but it doesn't have effects on it. So it's not got that stereo thing, which was a very pioneering thing from the Rockman X100, basically. But it does have a lot of that same 80s kind of tone. I had a chorus pedal of my own, a Boss one, just to get that kind of sound. And what I wanted to show you guys in this video is how much more tones we can get from this, really, or the kind of things that we can play. And as I say, I'm going to be using this in so many song tutorials, and I really love that there's not even a gain knob on it. There's no EQ. It is plug it in and that's the sound that you get. And you can adjust the amount of gain by adjusting the amount of signal level going in, which I'm actually using an old Boss unit for. I'm using the volume control just to control the amount of signal level going into it, kind of old school gain. But that's the biggest tip for you. Any of you guys that like have modeling amplifiers or like beginner basic amplifiers, so not the high-end stuff. The biggest thing that I want to communicate to you guys is every piece of gear has a certain sound to it. And this is what the higher level guys are always looking for. They're not really dialing in a tone. Tones get EQ'd, everything gets EQ'd when it's recorded. What the guys are actually looking for when they're choosing what piece of gear is, what does that piece of gear do best? Put everything at 12 o'clock, what does it sound like? And then tweak from there. So the original Rockman was designed by Tom Schultz of Boston. So I'm going to play some Boston riffs to start off with. And when I think of that Boston guitar tone, I can't help but think of Journey, you know what I mean? Similar kind of era. I can't believe this is coming out of a headphone amp. This is that little box there. It sounds so valvey. It sounds like a valve amp, right? Man, that sounds great. And I also can't help but go So I've put all these songs in a playlist on Spotify. I'll link to that down in the description below. Next one on this one is Anywhere You Want It, also by Journey. So I also want to see what else could I use this on to, like, film tutorials and stuff, and a similar kind of era again, thinking that sort of late 70s, early 80s, something like... Right, so I want to push this. I'm going to use my Schaefer replica just kind of as a booster pedal. I just want to see how it does with kind of late 80s tones as well as the early stuff. So let's have a listen. Here we go. Didn't even need the booster pedal. Listen to that. I'm only using this guitar because it's got pretty hot pickups in it, high output, and I can also do some coil tapping when I need to. But there you go, that's kind of Slash's guitar tone. Yeah, there you go, 80s Slash. Could it do Van Halen? Amazing. I mean, that's a plexi sound. That's literally like a modded plexi like this is going for, but absolutely done. What about some cleaner stuff? So of course we've got the hysteria tone. But how about something like White Wedding? Pedals so well. It takes the Schaefer really well anyway. And there you have it. 80s guitar heaven without busting the bank. I think that sounds pretty cool. And I think it does the late 70s thing, even mid 70s stuff really well. Use pedal with it and you've got all the later 80s stuff there. So let me know what you think to that in the comments below, and don't be surprised if you hear me using the Rockman headphone amp. I'll let you know when I am in my upcoming tutorials, especially with guitar solos and things like that. And what are my amp settings? There aren't any. I just use that headphone amp. That's the magic of it. See you next time.